Hello everyone, Jules here. Medieval fantasy is one of the most beloved settings in the RPG genre, and it goes without saying that strategy RPGs have a lot of titles that implemented this setting. Knowing that I have never made a video for this specific topic, I think this will be a very interesting list to all of you tactical RPG fans. Knowing that there's a lot of these games in the genre, there's no way this list will be enough to cover all of them, and that means this video will act as the part 1 of the series. Alright then, let's get started. The Age of Decadence is a standout for those who appreciate a realistic medieval fantasy world that values story and historical resonance over flashy spells and epic heroics. The game reflects medieval times' hardships and decline, making it relevant to players interested in the more realistic socio-political side of a medieval fantasy environment. The Age of Decadence breaks away from the typical RPG linear quest structures. Players can explore different factions, classes, and approaches, from diplomacy to deception or brute force.
Patrician house had passed away.
Expeditions Rome is an outstanding game, especially for those who enjoy strategy, history, and elements of role-playing in a unique setting. While it may not be medieval fantasy in a classic sense, it carries several elements that make it relevant to fans of medieval-themed games. It carries thematic elements of war, conquest, political intrigue, and empire building familiar to medieval settings. Choices in this game also have meaningful impacts on the story, affecting alliances, morale, and even the outcome of battles.
Serves him right anyway.
King Arthur Knight's Tale is an intriguing blend of dark fantasy, Arthurian legend, and tactical RPG mechanics, offering a unique take on the myth of King Arthur and his knights. Every decision has weighty consequences, impacting not only your story path, but also your relationships with your knights. Each knight has a skill tree and distinct class, allowing for deep character customization as they gain experience. Knights can also be equipped with weapons, armor, and items that influence their stats and abilities, which enhance the RPG depth even more.
Your Highness? That's it.
Symphony of War is a tactical RPG that combines classic turn-based strategy with deep RPG mechanics. It stands out as a modern tribute to beloved strategy RPGs of the past, while bringing new elements and storytelling twists that keep players engaged. Symphony of War allows players to recruit a wide array of unit types and develop them into specific classes, each with unique skills, strengths, and weaknesses. This brings the feel of classic medieval fantasy skirmishes, where troop placement and coordination often determine victory.
He will always find a way.
SpellForce Conquest of Io is a unique entry in the SpellForce series, blending classic fantasy RPG and turn-based strategy with elements of kingdom management. Set in the rich world of Io, the game builds on familiar medieval fantasy themes while offering complex mechanics that let players create their own powerful, spell-wielding empire. Unlike typical strategy games where players control large armies and build cities, Conquest of Io focuses on managing a wizard's tower. Players can research powerful spells, craft potions, summon creatures, and unlock magical secrets.
It is most rude.
The Fire Emblem series is one of the most beloved tactical RPG franchises. The world of Fire Emblem is a high fantasy setting, complete with swords, sorcery, mythical creatures, and dragons. However, it draws heavily from medieval Europe in terms of its aesthetics, with castles, knightly orders, feudal systems, and complex armor designs. The Fire Emblem series shines in its focus on character development and relationship building. These relationships often reveal backstory details and can result in in-game benefits, strengthening the team and giving players a glimpse into each character's personal journey.
I will prevail.
Wartales is a unique medieval strategy RPG that immerses players in a gritty open-world setting where they lead a band of mercenaries. With its focus on survival, resource management, and moral choices, Wartales offers a grounded take on medieval fantasy where players forge their own stories in a sprawling, hostile land. Combat in Wartales is turn-based and takes place on a grid, where players control each mercenary's movements and actions. The system emphasizes positioning and abilities as different character types bring unique strengths to the battlefield. Battle Brothers is a tactical RPG that captures the harsh life of a mercenary company in a medieval-inspired world. The game is known for its unforgiving turn-based tactical combat, where each choice matters and death is permanent. Players control a band of mercenaries in grid-based combat, managing their positioning, weapons, and equipment to outmaneuver enemies, with random injuries and permadeath. The game captures the harsh reality of mercenary life, where even a minor misstep can be costly. Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is a classic turn-based strategy game that has retained a devoted fanbase since its release in 1999. The game takes place in the high fantasy world of Erythea, with lore-rich factions inspired by medieval fantasy archetypes. Players can choose from various factions such as Castle, Necropolis, or Rampart, each with distinct units, heroes, and playstyles. These factions not only provide thematic variety, but also offer unique strategies, encouraging players to experiment with different builds and tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics is a masterclass in storytelling, strategic gameplay, and world building. Its blend of fantasy elements and character-driven plot create a rich experience that goes beyond typical tactical RPGs. The setting of Ivalice is inspired by European medieval culture, with a realistic take on kingdoms, castles, and a feudal society. One of the most praised features of Final Fantasy Tactics is its job system, which allows players to train their characters in over 20 different classes. From traditional roles like Knight to unique classes like Samurai, each job has its own set of abilities that players can customize and combine. Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together is a tactical RPG celebrated for its mature storytelling, rich character development, and deep strategic gameplay. The game features a robust class system that allows players to develop each character in unique ways. Each class has distinct abilities, weapons, and stat growth, enabling players to create balanced or specialized teams tailored to their strategies. The game also introduces a permadeath mechanics. Losing a key character can drastically affect team composition and story dynamics, so you must think carefully about each move, particularly in high-stakes battles. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous is a richly detailed CRPG that brings to life the Pathfinder tabletop RPG's lore, mechanics, and expansive world. Set in Golarion, Wrath of the Righteous tells the story of a demonic invasion that has torn open a rift between worlds. Building upon the Pathfinder tabletop rule set, Wrath of the Righteous offers extensive character creation options that allow players to create unique heroes. With over 25 character classes, dozens of archetypes, hundreds of feats, and numerous spells, the game offers unmatched flexibility for crafting specific builds.
The Inheritors, guide my blade!
Divinity Original Sin 2 is widely regarded as one of the best modern CRPGs thanks to its strategic depth, open-ended gameplay, and engaging storytelling. The game allows for an incredible degree of player freedom, letting players choose their own solutions to problems. With numerous ways to complete quests, tackle obstacles, and resolve conflicts, the game encourages experimentation and improvisation. While the origin characters come with preset backgrounds, players can also create custom characters, choosing race, class, abilities, and backstory.
I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay.
As a successor to the beloved Baldur's Gate series, Baldur's Gate 3 captures the spirit of classic CRPGs while innovating with cinematic storytelling and advanced gameplay mechanics. Moving from the real-time combat of previous Baldur's Gate games to turn-based, Baldur's Gate 3 uses D&D's 5th edition rules to bring strategy and depth to every encounter. The turn-based combat system encourages tactical thinking, as players need to consider positioning, ability synergy, and environmental factors. The Mount and Blade series is a one-of-a-kind blend of open-world exploration and RPG elements, set in a sandbox world that offers unmatched freedom for fans of medieval history and strategy. Players aren't bound to a single storyline or set of quests. Instead, they're free to roam the vast land of Calradia. In this game, you can choose sides in wars, establish trade routes, or even aim to unite the warring factions. This open-ended design provides a true sandbox experience where players can forge their own story, creating a dynamic, player-driven narrative. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other great medieval fantasy tactical RPGs that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best medieval fantasy tactical RPGs that probably deserve the spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!